Welcome back, guys. We're going to be making our dessert now. And for this dessert, we're actually going to be making two things. Technically, they're going to be paired together. We're going to be making the cheater soft serve ice cream, which we'll be doing a little bit later. And right now, we're going to be focusing on our one ingredient, sweet potato caramel, not caramel. I always want to say caramel, but it's caramel sauce. Yes. Anyone else say caramel or caramel? Why are we focusing on that when we need to focus on how you make caramel out of sweet potatoes? Now, I'm a little bit skeptical because in the recipe it says earthy caramel sauce. And whenever you stick earthy in there, you're always like, you trying too hard. So we're gonna go ahead and see how exactly this will taste, if it's worth making, and if it's worth putting on your ice cream. So let's go ahead and get started. You'll need a skillet, a cheesecloth, 3 pounds of sweet potatoes, a kitchen scale, a 9x13-inch baking dish covered in aluminum foil with extra aluminum foil on the side, 1 cup of water, and a sieve. This recipe is on page 230 if you want to cook along with me at home. The first thing I'm doing is using my kitchen scale to measure out my sweet potatoes to make sure I have 3 pounds exactly. Perfect. Once I have my sweet potatoes all measured out, I'm going to give them a rub-a-dub-dub and clean them up a little bit and then place them on my cutting board to peel and chop. To peel my sweet potatoes, I'm just using a sharp kitchen knife because I cannot find my peeler for the life of me. So if you have a peeler at home, then go ahead and use your peeler for this part because it's a lot easier. After I'm done peeling them, I'm giving them a rough chop and then throwing them into my 9x13 baking dish. And after all of them are chopped up, I'm topping that off with the 1/2 cup of water and then sealing that with another sheet of aluminum foil. Then sticking that baby into the oven at 425 degrees for 60 minutes. Don't worry, guys. I know that I forgot to originally put aluminum foil on the top of them, but I quickly remembered after filming, so we're all good. Now that we cleared the air for that, let's continue. It's been an hour, so I took the sweet potatoes out of the oven. I'm removing that sheet of aluminum foil. Then I'm spreading the remaining 1/2 cup of water over the sweet potatoes, giving them a quick stir, and then sticking them back into the oven for an additional 15 minutes to cook. The sweet potatoes are done, so I pulled them out of the oven and stuck them into my blender. Now this step is not in the directions, but you could do, I just wanted it to be a little bit easier to handle than a bunch of chunks. So I pureed them in the blender and then stuck them into my cheesecloth and then put that over the sieve and the skillet and squeezed out all the sweet potato liquids that I could. Now the sieve is there to protect if anything was to explode out of the cheesecloth, then it catches it so it doesn't get interrupted with your liquids because you don't want any puree or chunkiness in that liquid. Now I just finished squeezing as much liquid as I possibly could get out from the sweet potatoes. And now I'm pouring it into this measuring cup so that I can show you guys how much liquid I was able to extract, which was about roughly 1 cup. And I'm pouring that back into the skillet, then putting the skillet on the stovetop and bringing that to a simmer for 15 to 20 minutes until it becomes this ooey gooey golden brown caramel sauce. Look at that liquid gold, guys. Drizzle, drizzle, drizzle. Yeah. All right, we just finished our caramel sauce and we're letting it cool down until our ice cream is ready. I really want that ice cream. Now this is a 1 cheater soft serve ice cream hack. So it's really, you don't have to make any ice cream at home. You just buy it from the store, put some ingredients in it and put it in a Ziploc bag, basically. Let's go ahead and give it a try. Here's what you'll need, and it's on page 230 if you want to cook along. Using the 1/2 cup of heavy whipping cream, I'm adding that to my stand mixer and then immediately regretting it because using a hand mixer would be so much easier because it's such a small amount. But enduring on, I was able to create the desired soft peaks of the heavy whipping cream, and I'm adding that to the stand mixer again, then adding 1 tablespoon of granulated sugar along with 1/4 teaspoon of vanilla extract, then blending that until I get stiff peaks. Once I reach the stiff peaks, then I'm going to add 3 cups of softened vanilla ice cream, and using a rubber spatula, just mix it till it's combined. Now that everything is combined, I'm going to put the soft serve into piping bags and then stick those in the freezer and let them chill for 4 hours. At this time too, if the consistency is right, you can definitely just cut a hole at the end of that piping bag and pipe it into a cone and eat it then. It's up to you. I used smaller plastic bags so that I could experiment to see if the tip would work or if it was better to just cut a hole in the corner and try and pipe it out that way. And if you want to try this method at home, please, I would love to see how it turned out for you. So send some pictures along my way. Let's continue on to our tasting portion.
6 hours later.
So what we're gonna do first before we pull the ice cream out, so that way we can make sure everything works out and the ice cream doesn't fall. I'm gonna go ahead and taste it by itself. Drizzle. So let's go ahead and see how it is. Earthy. I'm actually really surprised. I might like it. If you didn't tell me this was sweet potatoes, I don't know if I would know what this is. I would say it was like not a sweet caramel sauce. Sorry guys, caramel sauce. So it does taste like an earthy caramel sauce. I'll have to say that. You nailed it. Before I like judge it by itself, because you just don't like eat this by the spoonfuls, I want to see how it tastes on the ice cream before I give a final judgment, if you would. So I'm gonna go ahead and stick this in the microwave for a few seconds, and then we can get a nice caramel swirl on our ice cream. The moment we've been waiting for.
Make sure everything works out and the ice cream doesn't fall.
Oh, this is not going according to plan. Oh, this is extremely difficult, but do the best that you can and then drizzle on some of that delicious caramel sauce. At least the caramel sauce looks decent, right? You guys saw how that went. Not super great. I need to work on some ice cream scooping skills, for sure. But let's go ahead and test this out. Tastes like soft serve. It's really good. When I first tried the consistency before I froze it, it was just like soft serve. But if it freezes overnight like I did with it, you get ice crystals in there. You guys, I was so disappointed in this. I really wanted this to work. I tried so many different techniques. I even took it out of the freezer and I stuck it into the fridge for 5 minutes so that it had a good temperature to thaw at, but not too rapidly where it just drip everywhere. And anyways, it didn't work, so moving on. I still want to give it, like, the flavor is really good. I'm going to still give this like 3.5 out of 5. Because of the technique of freezing it, killed it. It just didn't work out. I would just learn how to make soft serve in an ice cream maker. For the cheater soft serve ice cream, for the recipe portion of rating, I'm gonna go ahead and give that a 2.5 out of 3 stars, just because the freezer technique was not right. So it gets deducted. Other than that, it was very easy to follow. The technique just didn't work out for me. It could have been that my freezer was too cold, so that's something that you might want to consider if you do try and tackle this. That's just how my lovely disaster of a venture happened. So hopefully you don't have to go through the same mishaps that I did. Here's to round 2 of trying to make this work.
This is supposed to be soft serve?
Oh gosh. Yep, I'm still really disappointed about this. Moving on. Let's go ahead and try and get some of the caramel. When it's paired with the ice cream, the caramel sauce, sorry, it's stuck in the roof of my mouth. It's really good. It tastes like caramel. It's not too sweet. On its own, I was like, needs more sugar. But with it paired with the ice cream, it's very nice. It's not overly sweet. It's just like perfect on it. For the caramel sauce, I would give it I'll give it a 3 out of 5. It's great as a light sweetener on top of ice cream or cakes or something if you wanted that extra drizzle. But honestly, for the amount of work you have to do to get 1/4 cup of caramel sauce or caramel sauce, sorry guys, I don't know if it's worth it. I think you can make just regular caramel sauce so much easier, so much faster, but healthier version. If you want to trick your kids at home, no processed sugars, it's a good option. For the caramel sauce, I'm gonna go ahead and give it 3 out of 3. Very easy to follow, very clear for the most part, and overall very happy with it. That concludes part 2 of episode 1. Thank you so much for stopping by. I'm gonna go ahead and eat the rest of my remaining ice cream, and I will see you guys next time.